Welcome to NASCAR America Overtime alongside AJ Allmendinger and Parker Kligerman. Okay, so the big news this week, and I feel like it sort of warrants more discussion, the schedule. What did you guys think about the changes?
Good changes.
Yeah?
Good changes. I mean, a lot of good changes and a lot of changes that I think many of us in the industry have been looking for. A lot of changes fans have been looking for. And, you know, I think it's been well discussed that, you know, NASCAR's hands are a little bit tied with the contracts they still have with these tracks, but it was cool to see the tracks, NASCAR, the whole industry work together to find a way to make the schedule a little bit more jumbled up, a little bit more exciting, maybe find some places that we can get better weather for certain races, races that might just have more of an impact. And I think that's what's really cool about this whole schedule design. There's another thing that's kind of cool that I sort of saw on there, which is maybe from us at NBC, but there's the 2-week break for the Olympics. And I love that because in Formula One, they actually have a summer break. In August, they take a whole month off. And it really gets allows the series to recharge, you know, to really allow people to almost have like a sense of anticipation. And now we might have a little bit of that where the grind that we have on this schedule is going to be a little bit subsided. The crew members get to go home for a little bit. The drivers get time at home. It's kind of, I think it's a cool thing to re-energize the whole series heading to the playoffs.
And it gives you the chance to compete in javelin.
That's what I've been looking to do.
I had a quick think of like a summer Olympic sport.
I wasn't going to announce that until the pre-announcement next week.
You won't look like a triple jump.
The triple jump.
Yeah.
But you know, what really stands out is obviously the championship race being changed to ISM Raceway. And that's something that I feel like we should kind of have a revolving door of championship races. Super Bowl does it. So many other sports do it. But it's nice just to have a change going into next year. And also really the Pocono doubleheader, because we've never really seen anything like that when it comes to Cup racing. So how teams are really going to manage that, you know, how drivers, you know, the ones that are maybe a little bit more fit that can do back-to-back races. I know some guys do Xfinity races and then Cup races, but to do 2 Cup races back-to-back each day will be a lot of fun. But it's just nice, as we've all talked about, the fact that to have a schedule with what NASCAR could do, even though their hands were tied with contracts, it just kind of rejuvenates the series, gets some interest going in some different places at different times. So it'll be fun to watch.
So you bring up that Pocono doubleheader and the physicality of it. I mean, there's some Pocono races that it can be kind of muggy and hot and such. So if you're there for 2 days, I mean, I've seen races, drivers are getting out. I've been there where you get out and you're kind of like, man, that was hot. You know, it was more physical than you think it would be. So I think it's going to be interesting for sure.
Luckily, it never rains there. So there should be no issues.
Well, it's going to be exciting to see what happens. But that's 2020. I mean, we don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves because the immediate this weekend is racing at Texas. AJ, why are you excited about Texas? What's the flavor of Texas? Oh,
I'm excited.
What's going on?
I mean,
what?
Oh, my, you are.
I mean, just saying right here, my Texas boots on. True story. First time I've ever worn boots. So, no, it's
something you should look forward to doing.
What's the flavor?
Yeah. I mean,
what's the flavor of Texas?
Texas is always puts on a great race when it comes to the speed of the racetrack. When they reconfigured what it looked like, turns 1 and 2 to me were always one of the most difficult challenges in NASCAR racing over the last couple of years, because you fly off of turn 4 and you go into turn 1, and I know they say there's banking there, but literally it doesn't feel like there's any banking there. So I think they're adding some PJ1, Parker. I mean, there's a lot of things with this new aero package that's going to make for side-by-side racing.
Which is all, to try to make the racing better, add that traction.
So, because we had this repave you talked about where we lowered the banking in turns 1 and 2 by 4 degrees, and we widened out, and we've got this cool animation to show you what happened here back in 2017. So you'll see it goes down by 4 degrees.
I still say there's none there.
There feels like there's none there. Well, the problem is that we'll see here in a little bit is that they actually extended the racing surface down to where the apron is. So this grows, I believe it's 78 feet from 58 feet, and we actually run now down there where that apron used to be. So it's also wide open as heck. I mean, you can never find a point as you enter into it. So what they've actually done at Texas, they did some of the sticky stuff, or PJ1 if you want to call it, up there on the top 2 grooves. They ran in the tire drag in a ton to try and, you know, create some outside grooves, because when we look at the fall race last year, it was a really single groove racetrack. So I think the racetrack's doing all they can do. With the new package, the interesting thing is going to be that we were really fast through 3 and 4 in the old package. I mean, in qualifying there, never got fully out of the throttle in a Cup car at 188 miles an hour. So that was the min speed in the center of the corner. So that's a very fast corner. So I believe with this new package, we'll be flat out from turn 2 all the way back to turn 1. So you're really going to have about one corner you're lifting off. So I think it's going to be, there should be some drafting in there. There should be some unknowns in just how you race a place that you essentially have flat out for more than 90% of the lap. It's crazy.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, it's in qualifying, the good cars were wide open.
They were wide open, yeah.
I tried it and it didn't. Yeah, it was a little sketchy.
You had to get a dab of brake in there.
But yeah, the biggest thing is whether 1 and 2 opens up with that PJ1 and cars start running out there. But coming off of 4, the draft that these cars are really going to get now down the front straightaway, I feel like we're going to see a lot of cars kind of sailing into turn 1, maybe overdriving, or more importantly, if you get under a car and you sail it down in there, that right side air being taken off, we could see a lot of incidents because drivers aren't really ready for how much speed they're going to carry into the corner. So restarts, like always with this aero package, are going to be big. And you know what they say, everything's bigger in Texas, right?
Just like those boots.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what else is cool? The Biff is back. Not in this race this weekend. He's going to race a truck in June, but doing some laps for Kyle Busch Motorsports. Cool. That's cool. Yeah. First time back in a NASCAR vehicle since 2016. Greg Biffle. So
looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Nice truck he got in, too.
Yeah, I mean,
And that's the race where they're paying a lot of extra money.
Kick those boots back up here as we say goodbye.
Big money.
I'm just getting ready for the show.
For NASCAR America.
This is as far as my ankle bends.
Hey, NASCAR fans. Thanks for checking out the NBC Sports YouTube channel. Make sure you hit subscribe below for the latest NASCAR news, race highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.